Hello everyone, this is Aparna Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, AG Institute of Engineering and Technology. So in this video lecture, I would like to continue with Module 4, that is classification, from the subject data mining and warehousing. So in the previous video lecture, we had studied about the basics of classification, correct? We had taken examples and studied about the basics. We had seen how to construct the decision tree. We had also seen how to use the Hunt's algorithm for constructing the decision tree, as well as we have seen some ways of splitting based on for different types of attributes. Okay, so in this video lecture, let us see about the measures for selecting the best split as well as characteristics of decision tree induction. So measures for selecting the best split, basically there are three measures and also it includes problems. Okay, so we will be discussing the problems also over here. That is, the problems are based on the measures for selecting the best split, as well as we will be studying the characteristics of decision tree induction. Okay, so let us begin. Measures for selecting the best split. So there are many measures that can be used to determine the best way to splitting the records. Okay, so there are many measures to determine the best way to split the records. These measures are defined in terms of the class distribution of the records before and after splitting. P of I given T. Okay, this term is very important. Okay, so this term is a very important term, P of I given T. Okay, it denotes the fraction of records belonging to class I at a given node T. Okay, so fraction of records that belongs to class I at a given node T, that is P of I given T. So we will be using this term almost everywhere over here. So this is very important, P of I given T, fraction of records belonging to class I at a given node T. Now the measures developed for selecting the best split are often based on the degree of impurity of the child nodes. Okay, so the measures for selecting the best split are based on the degree of impurity of the child nodes. The smaller the degree of impurity, the more biased the class distribution is. So the degree of impurity is small in the child node means then the more biased the class distribution is. Okay. For example, a node with class distribution 0, 1 has 0 impurity, correct? 0 and 1 is 0 impurity, whereas the node with uniform class distribution 0.5, 0.5 has the highest impurity. Okay, over here it is properly sorted 0 and 1, so the impurity is 0. Okay, whereas over here it is equally distributed. Okay, so the distribution over here is 0.1 and 0.5, hence it has the highest impurity. Okay, so the smaller the degree of impurity, the more biased the class distribution is. Okay, here the degree of impurity is small, hence it is more biased, correct? Now let us go through the examples of impurity measures. Okay, first impurity measure is entropy, second one we have Gini index, and finally we have classification error. This is very important. Three measures of impurity measures: entropy, Gini and classification error. Entropy is given by the formula minus summation of I is equal to 0 to C minus 1. Okay, P of I given T log to the base 2 P of I given T. Gini is given by 1 minus summation of I is equal to 0 to 1, 0 to c minus 1, p of I given t the whole square. Classification error is given by 1 minus max of p of I given t. Here c is the number of classes. Okay, the c in this formula is the number of classes. We have already seen what p of it is, right? And they are telling that 0 log to the base 2 of 0 is equal to 0 in entropy calculations. So in entropy calculations, you have to remember that 0 into log to the base 2 of 0 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, P of IT denotes the fraction of records belonging to class I at a given node T, and C is the number of classes. Okay. So these three formulas you have to remember. These three are the impurity measures. Okay. That is entropy, Gini index and classification errors. Okay. Very, very important. The measures developed for selecting the best split are often based on the degree of impurity of the child nodes. Okay, the smaller the degree of impurity, the more skewed the class distribution is. Okay, or here they are telling that selecting the best split is always based on the degree of impurity of the child nodes. So if the degree of impurity of the child nodes is smaller, then the class distribution is more biased. Okay, or the class distribution is more stable. That is what they are telling. Here they have given examples. Okay, for there are three nodes here: node N1, node N2 and node N3. Okay, there are two classes, class 0 and 1. Okay, node N2 also there are two classes, class 0 and 1. Okay, now we are counting the attribute values that belongs to class 0 as well as class 1 in node N1. Similarly, for node N2, we are counting the attribute values that belongs to class 0 and class 1. Same way, for node N3, we are counting the attribute values that belongs to class 0 and class 1. This is just an example over here. Okay, using this example, we will show how to calculate the Gini index, entropy and classification error. So this is just an example in order to show the impurity measures. Okay, calculation of the impurity measures, Gini, entropy and error. So the Gini index for this is given by, okay, that is Gini for classes. For node N1, the Gini index is given by 1 minus, okay, what is the formula for Gini index? Gini index formula is 1 minus summation of, correct, I is equal to 0 to C minus 1. Okay, here there are two classes. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. Right? So I is equal to 0 to 1. Okay. P of I given T, the whole square. Correct? So it is P of I given T, the whole square. Okay. Now if you apply this formula, you will get 1 minus, okay. Now for class 0, count is 0. Correct? 0. Total count for node N1 is 6. Okay. So it is P of I given T is fraction of records that belongs to class I. Correct? So, for class 0, it is 0 divided by the total number of records in node N1, that is 6. So, it is 0 by 6 the whole square minus, okay, again for class 1, for the next class, okay, for class 0 we have P of 0 given T and P of 1 given T. For the next class it is 6, okay. The value is 6 here, count is 6 divided by the total number, the total count over here is also 6. So, minus 6 divided by 6. This is for class P of 0 given T, okay. This is P of 0 given T, okay. First over here, summation I is equal to 0 and 1, correct? So, for the first term, I will be 0. P of 0 given T the whole square, and this is for the second term, I will become 1. So, it is P of 1 given T the whole square, right? So, it is, this is nothing but P of 1 given T the whole square, right? So, P of 0 given T is 0 out of 6 and P of 1 given T is 6 out of 6. Okay, so 1 minus 0 by 6 the whole square minus 6 given 6, 6 out of 6 the whole square, which is equal to 0. Similarly, we will calculate the entropy. Okay, what is the formula for entropy? We have seen the formula for entropy here. Minus summation I is equal to 0 to C minus 1. P of I given T log to the base 2 P of I given T. So, let us apply that formula over here for entropy. Okay, so summation. So first iteration I will be 0. Let me write the formula. Let me erase this first. Okay. Now let me write the formula for entropy. Minus summation of I is equal to 0 to C minus 1. Here there are how many classes? 2 classes are there. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. I is equal to 0 to 1. Okay. P of I given T log to the base 2. Okay. P of log to the base 2. P of I given T. Correct? This is the formula. Okay. So, for the first term over here it is minus I value is 0, 0 out of 6. Correct? This for class 0 it is 0. 0 out of 6 log to the base 2, 0 out of 6 minus second value count is 6. Out of the total count over here is also 6. So, minus 6 out of 6 log to the base 2, 6 out of 6, which will get it as 0. Okay. And finally, error we will have to calculate. Error is given by the formula 1 minus, see the formula here, 1 minus max of P of I given T. Okay. So, 1 minus max of P of 0 given T and P of 1 given T. So, P of 0 given T is 0 out of 6. P of 1 given T is 6 out of 6. So, max of 0 out of 6 and 6 by 6 is 6 by 6, correct? maximum of these two values, which is maximum? You will get 0 and 1, correct? 0 divided by 6 is 0, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So 0 and 1, which is maximum? 1. So 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0. Okay, so this is how we will calculate the impurity measures, that is the Gini index, entropy and error. One more thing that you have to remember here is you have log to the base to 0 divided by 6. Okay, here when you are calculating, first you have to calculate 0 divided by 6, which is 0. Then you have to calculate log of 0 divided by log of 2. Okay, because it is base 2 over here. So you have to calculate log 0 divided by log 2. Obviously the answer is 0. I'm just telling over here, because it is log to the base 2, this result, whatever you get, log of that result divided by log 2. That is how you are supposed to calculate. Okay, in the same way, for node N2, we will calculate the Gini, entropy and error. Okay, they have given the count for class 0 as well as they have given the count for class 1 and 5. The total count over here is 6 again, correct? 1 plus 5, total count is 6. Okay, so same way we have to calculate the Gini, entropy and error. Okay, similarly for node N3, we have to calculate the Gini, entropy and error. Here also the total count is 6. Okay, so now if you see the impurity for N1, N2 and N3, you can see that the impurity values for node N1 is less than the impurity for node N2 and N3, correct? So the impurity for node N1, so splitting on N1 gives you less impurity compared to splitting on node N2 and N3. Okay, so this is how we calculate the impurity measures for a given node. Okay, so let us continue now. Next, to determine how well a test condition performs, we need to compare the degree of impurity of the parent node, that is before splitting, with the degree of impurity of the child node, that is after splitting. So we need to compare the degree of the impurity of the parent node as well as the degree of impurity with the child node. The larger their difference, the better the test condition is. So if the difference between the impurity of the parent and the impurity of the child, okay, so the difference is large, then the test condition is the better. Okay, so it is better, the test condition. The difference is called as gain. Okay, the difference between the impurity of the parent node with the impurity of the child node is called as gain. It is a criterion that can be used to determine the goodness of a split. So gain is nothing but, okay, gain is nothing but, it is equal to impurity. I will write it as I. Okay, impurity I will write it as I. Impurity of parent okay, minus the impurity of child node. Impurity of child. Okay, this is equal to gain. So if this difference is large, okay, that means larger this difference, better the test condition. Okay, and this is the criterion used to determine the goodness of the split. So based on the gain, you can determine the goodness of the split. So here they have given gain is equal to Okay, now this is the notation used to represent the gain. Okay, here I dot is the impurity measure of the node. Okay, here impurity measure of the parent, as I told you, impurity of the parent minus okay, this here it is the impurity of the child. So n is the total number of records at the parent node. Okay, k is the number of attribute values. N of Vj is the number of records associated with the child node Vj. So here for child node Vj, okay, Vj is the child node. This is the child node, right? This is the child node. I of Vj means nothing but impurity of the child, correct? I of Vj is nothing but impurity of the child. So this is the impurity of the parent, this is the impurity of the child. Okay, now n of Vj over here is the number of records associated with the child node divided by the total number of records. Okay, so this is how we are calculating the gain. Okay, gain is equal to impurity of the parent minus summation of j is equal to 1 to k n of Vj divided by n into I of Vj. Okay, so this is the formula used to calculate the gain. I dot is the impurity measure of the given node. Here I of parent is the impurity of the parent. I of Vj is the impurity of the child node. N is the total number of records at the parent node. N is the total number of records at the parent node. K is the number of attribute values. Okay, and n of Vj is the number of records associated with the child node Vj. So this is how we will be calculating the gain. Okay, please remember this formula. Using this formula we will be calculating the gain. So when entropy is used as the impurity measure, the difference in entropy is known as information gain. Okay, very important. If they ask calculate the information gain, okay, then the impurity measure used should be entropy. Okay, so we have three impurity measures, correct? We have Gini index, we have entropy, we have misclassification error. So the gain calculated for the entropy impurity measure is known as information gain, and it is represented by this symbol. Okay. Now, splitting with customer ID produces purer partitions. Okay. Now you have this attribute called as customer ID. You know that the value of this attribute is unique, correct? We have very unique values for customer ID. Okay, it is not repeated. You cannot have same values for customer ID. You should have different values for customer ID. So splitting with customer ID produces purer partitions, yet customer ID is not a predictive attribute because its value is unique for each record. Okay, that is why customer ID is not a predictive attribute. Even in a less extreme situation, a test condition that results in large number of outcomes may not be desirable. Okay, so even in the worst situation, you will not want to use a test condition which will give you a large number of outcomes, because the number of records associated with each partition is too small to make a desirable prediction. Here if you take customer ID only, okay, so if you test a condition, if you have a condition to test the customer ID, correct? Since each customer ID is different, you will have many outcomes from this test condition, correct? you will have many outcomes with this customer ID test condition. And also the number of records associated with each partition is too small. Okay, if I take customer ID over here, the number of records in each partition might be 1, correct? Number of records in each partition will be 1 only. So in this case, because the number of records associated with each partition is too small, it is not desired. You cannot make reliable predictions. Okay. So there are two strategies to overcome this problem. First strategy is to restrict the test condition to binary split only. Okay, everyone knows what is binary split, right? Binary split means only 2 outcomes. The test condition will have only 2 outcomes. So you have to restrict the test condition to binary split only. Second one is modify the splitting criteria to take into account the number of outcomes produced by attribute test condition. So you have to modify the splitting criteria to take into account the number of outcomes produced by the attribute test condition. Okay, this criteria is defined as follows. That criteria is called as gain ratio. Okay, gain ratio is given by the formula information gain. Okay, I told you that time information gain means it is the gain obtained from the entropy. Okay, so information gain divided by split info, where split info is given by the formula minus summation of I is equal to 1 to k p of vi log to the base 2 p of vi, and k is the total number of splits. So the criterion over here is called as gain ratio, which is given by this formula information gain divided by split info. Next, let us work out some problems based on this impurity measures. Okay, here take down this first problem. I'll read out the question here. They have asked, consider the training examples shown in table 4.7 for a binary classification problem. So I have put up this table in the next slide here. Okay, this is the table. Okay, so for this table now, you have to compute the Gini index for the overall collection of training examples. Okay, for the overall collection of training examples, you have to compute the Gini index. Next, compute the Gini index for the customer ID attribute. C, compute the Gini index for the gender attribute. D, compute the Gini index for the car type attribute using multi-way split. E, compute the Gini index for shirt size attribute using multi-way split. F, which attribute is better, gender, car type or shirt size? G, explain why customer ID should not be used as the attribute test condition even though it has the lowest Gini. Okay, this we have already discussed, correct? Why you cannot use customer ID as the attribute test condition. Okay, even though customer ID gives you very low impurity. Okay, splitting on customer ID gives you very less impurity. Okay, almost 0 impurity it gives. But as I told, the number of records in each split is very small. And you cannot predict anything with so small number of records. Okay, that is why over here customer ID should not be used as the attribute test condition even though it has the lowest Gini. Now we will try to solve this problem. Each question by question we will take and solve these problems. Okay, so first I want everyone to take down this table. Okay, in this table we have 4 attributes, okay, and we have 2 class labels, correct? The last attribute is a class. Okay, the last column is a class which has 2 class labels, class 0 and class 1. The 4 attributes are customer ID, which has unique values for each record. Okay, the next attribute is gender. It has 2 values, male and female. Okay, the next attribute is car type. Okay, there are 3 types of cars: family, okay, sports and luxury. Okay, so we have 3 values for car type. Next attribute is shirt size. We have here 4 values, correct? Small, medium, large, extra large, correct? These are the 4 values that we have for shirt size. Finally, we have this class with 2 class labels. Okay, so take down this table. Next, let us see. First question is, compute the Gini index for the overall collection of training records. Okay, they have asked to compute the Gini index for the overall collection of training records. Now, the Gini index formula, correct? This is the formula for Gini index. Right, here how many classes are there in the table? Okay, please refer to the table which you have taken down. How many classes are there in the table? 2 classes are there, class 0 and class 1. Okay, so this value of C will be 2. So C minus 1 will be 1. So C is equal to 2. Correct? C is equal to 2. Now, this is the formula for Gini index. As we have already seen how to calculate the Gini index, 1 minus, okay. So, class 0 and class 1 we have, correct? 2 classes we have, class 0 and class 1. So, how many records belongs to class 0 in the table? In the table, 10 records belongs to class 0, correct? So, it is 10 records. You count how many class 0s are there. How many C0s are there? 10 are there. Okay. 10 out of, what is the total number of records? 20. So 10 divided by 20, the whole square. Plus, again, for class 1, how many records are there? For class 1, there are 10 records. Correct? For class 1, there are 10 records. So 10 divided by the total number of records is 20. So 10 divided by 20, the whole square. This is for class 0. This is for class 1. Okay. So the impurity for Gini index is 1 minus, you will get this answer, you will get it as 0.5. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. So this is the overall Gini index. Okay, this value 0.5 is nothing but it is the overall Gini index. Okay, for all the training records. That was the first question. Compute the Gini index for the overall collection of training records. Next, they have told compute the Gini index for the customer ID attribute. Okay, so the Gini for each customer ID value is 0. Okay, therefore the overall Gini for customer ID value is 0. So whenever it is customer ID, okay, the Gini index or any impurity measure will give you 0 value. So impurity is 0 whenever it is ID, customer ID. Okay, because each customer ID will have the value 0. Therefore the overall Gini for customer ID value is 0. Next, C question, compute the Gini index for the gender attribute. Okay. Now, for gender attribute, there are 2 values for this attribute. One is male and one is female. Okay. Now, first we will have to calculate the Gini for male. Okay, so there are two classes, class 0 and class 1. Okay, so count how many of male belongs to class 0 in the table and how many male belongs to class 1 in the table. Okay, I will want to show you the table now. So male over here, how many belongs to class 0? Male 1, that is class 0, 2, class 0, 3, class 0, 4, class 0, 5, class 0, 6, class 0. Correct? So these 6 belongs to class 0. Okay, how many male belongs to class 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? These all are class 1. So 4 male belongs to class 1, right? 6 male belongs to class 0, 4 male belongs to class 1. So here for class 0 the count is 6 and for class 1 the count is 4. Okay, using the Gini index we will calculate 1 minus here what is the total count for this male? 6 plus 4, the total count is 10, right? So Gini is equal to 1 minus 6 by 10 the whole square plus 4 by 10 the whole square. Okay, hence we will get the Gini value as 0.48. Okay, similarly calculate the Gini for female. So for female you have to see how many records belongs to class 0 and how many records belongs to class 1. Okay, so here check for female. Female, how many records belongs to class 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. All are class 0, right? So 4 records belongs to class 0. How many records belongs to class 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So 6 records belongs to class 1. Okay. So for female 4 records belongs to class 0, 6 record belongs to class 1. And the total count over here is also 10. 4 plus 6, it is 10. So hence apply the Gini formula. 1 minus 4 by 10 the whole square plus 6 divided by 10 the whole square. You get 0.48. Now we have calculated the Gini for male and we have calculated the Gini for female. Okay, next we have to calculate the overall Gini for gender attribute. Okay, overall Gini for gender attribute. Overall Gini for gender attribute is given by 10. Okay, first this is 10 divided by total number of records 20. Okay, here total is 10. 10 divided by the total number of records 20 into Gini for male is 0.48. Okay, plus here the total count for female is 10 divided by the total number of records. This is the total number of records that belongs to female. Total number of records 20 into the Gini value for female, which is 0.48. Again you will get the overall Gini value is also 0.48. Okay, now this is the total count of male records. This is the total count of female records. So 10 divided by the total number of records is 20 into 0.48 plus 10 divided by 20 into 0.48. So the Gini for gender attribute you will get it as 0.48. Next they have asked compute the Gini index for the car type attribute using the multi-way split. Okay, in car type attribute, there are three values for car, correct? Which are the three values for car? Family, sports and luxury. So you have to calculate the Gini index for the car type attribute using multi-way split. So car type, there are three values for car. Yes sir. Family is there. Family, sports, luxury, correct? So classes are, two classes are there, class 0 and class 1. Now how many family car belongs to class 0 you have to count, and how many family cars belong to class 1 you have to count. Let us look at the table. So how many family car belongs to class 0? Here 1, it belongs to class 0. Okay, so there is only one family car that belongs to class 0, correct? And how many family cars belongs to class 1? 1, 2, 3, correct? So these three family cars belongs to class 1, correct? So class 0 for family car is 1, class 1 for family car is 3. So class 0 for family car is 1. Okay, class 0 for family car is 1, and class 1 for family car is 3. Hence compute the Gini for family, which is here the total count is, total number of family cars is 4, right? Total number of family cars is 4. So 1 minus 1 divided by 4 the whole square plus 3 divided by 4. This is 3, okay? 3 divided by 4 the whole square. Okay, you will get this answer 0.875. Sorry, you will get 0.375. Okay, you get 0.375. Next, same way we have to calculate the Gini for sports car. Okay, we have to count the number of records that belongs to class 0, as well as we have to count the number of records that belongs to class 1. Okay, so sports car, how many belongs to class 0? Sports car, how many belongs to class 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? All the 8 sports car belongs to class 0, and none of the sports car belongs to class 1. So class 0 for sports car count is 8. Class 1 for sports car count is 0. Okay. So count is, for class 0 it is 8, for class 0 it is 8, okay, for class 1 it is 0. Hence calculate the, here the total count is, total count of sports car is 8, correct? The total count of sports car is 8. Hence calculate the Gini, 1 minus 8 divided by 8. 1 minus 8 divided by 8 the whole square. Okay, 8 divided by 8 the whole square plus 0 divided by 8 plus 0 divided by 8 the whole square. You will get 1 minus 1, which is 0. Okay, that is Gini for sports. Okay, same way, calculate the Gini for luxury cars. First, count the number of records that belongs to class 0 and the number of records that belongs to class 1. Okay, so for luxury car, how many records belongs to class 0? Only one record belongs to class 0. Correct? How many records belongs to class 1? For class 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct? So there are 7 records that belongs to class 1 and there is only one record that belongs to class 0. Hence, let us compute this Gini. See here, one record that belongs to class 0 and 7 records that belongs to one record that belongs to class 0 and 7 records that belongs to class 1. Okay, and what is the total number of records that belongs to luxury car? How many records are there? 8. Total number of records is 8. Okay, hence calculate the Gini for luxury car, which is 1 minus 1 divided by 8 the whole square plus 7 divided by 8 the whole square. You will get 0.21875. Okay. So you will get 0.21875. Okay. This is, you have calculated the Gini for family car, sports car and luxury car. Now you have to calculate the overall Gini for car attribute. Okay. So the overall Gini for car attribute is given by 4. Okay, that is 4 is total number of family cars divided by the total number of records 20 into 0.375 Gini for family plus 8, that is the total number of sports car, divided by the total number of records is 20. Okay, into the Gini for sports car is 0 plus 8, that is the total number of luxury cars, 8 divided by the total number of records 20 into the Gini for luxury cars is 0.21875. Okay, hence we will get the overall Gini value for the car attribute, that is 0.1625. Okay, this is the Gini index for the car attribute using multi-way split. Okay, let us go for the next question. E. They have asked, compute the Gini index for the shirt size attribute using the multi-way split. Okay, for shirt size attribute there are 4 values, right? Small, medium, large, extra large. Correct? So there are 4 values. Shirt size small, medium, large, extra large. Right? Now for class 0 and class 1, okay, count the number of small that belongs to class 0 and shirt size small that belongs to class 1. Okay, so in the table if you see, so shirt size is small, how many belongs to class 0? Shirt size small, 1, 2, 3, right? So 3 belongs to class 0 and 2 belongs to class 1, right? 2 belongs to class 1. So 3 belongs to class 0 and 2 belongs to class 1. Okay, so what is the total count of shirt size small here? It is 5. Total count of the shirt size small is 5, right? Okay, same way calculate the Gini for shirt size small. 1 minus 3 divided by 5. Okay, 1 minus 3 divided by 5 the whole square plus 2 divided by 5 the whole square. You will get 0.48. Okay, same way for medium, count the number of records that belongs to class 0 and number of records that belongs to class 1. So 3 records belongs to class 0 and 4 records belongs to class 1. Okay, for shirt size medium. Okay, here the total number of records that belongs to medium is 3 plus 4, it will 7 records are there. Total number of records having shirt size medium is 7. Okay, hence calculate the Gini for medium. 1 minus 3 divided by 7 the whole square plus 4 divided by 7 the whole square. You will get 0.49. Okay, 1 minus 3 divided by 7 the whole square plus 4 divided by 7 the whole square, you will get 0.49. Okay, same way calculate the Gini for shirt size large. Count the number of records that belongs to class 0, which is 2. The number of records that belongs to class 1 is also 2. Okay, so Gini for and here the total number of records of shirt size large is 4. Total number of records that belong to shirt size large is 4. 2 plus 2. Hence Gini for large is 1 minus 2 divided by 4 the whole square plus 2 divided by 4 the whole square. Okay, you will get 0.5. Same way calculate the Gini for shirt size extra large. So 2 records belongs to class 0 and 2 records of extra large belong to class 1. Okay, the total count of the records that belongs to extra large that have shirt sizes extra large is 4. Okay, hence calculating the Gini for shirt size extra large, you will get 1 minus 2 divided by 4 the whole square plus 2 divided by 4 it is. Okay, 2 divided by 4 the whole square. You will get 1 minus 0.5 which is equal to 0.5. Hence calculate the, now we have calculated the Gini for small, medium, large, extra large. Finally calculate the overall Gini for shirt size attribute. Okay, overall Gini for shirt size attribute. Okay, 5 divided by the total number of records into Gini for small is 0.48 plus number of records that belongs to size medium is 7. So 7 divided by 20, Gini for medium is 0.49. So into 0.49 plus the number of records that belongs to large is 4. Okay, so 4 divided by the total number of records is 20. Gini for large is 0.5 plus number of records that belongs to extra large is 4. Okay, divided by the total number of records is 20 into Gini for extra large is 0.5. Okay, hence we get the overall Gini index for the shirt size attribute, which is 0.4915. So, which attribute is better? Gender, car type or shirt size? What do you think? Now you have to see which attribute has low Gini value. Okay, Gini is an impurity measure, calculating the impurity. So which has less impurity you have to see. Okay, or which attribute is better depends on which is having less impurity. So the one which is having less Gini value or the one which is having less impurity is better. Now here if you see, you have for shirt size the Gini value 0.4915. Okay. For car type it is 0.1625. And for gender it is 0.48, which is smaller compared to 3. 0.1625 is smaller, correct? So this is the smallest among the 3. Correct? Gini for car type attribute is small. Okay. So car type attribute is better compared to the 3 attributes. So car type because it has the lowest Gini compared to the 3 attributes. Next, explain why customer ID cannot be used as the test condition even though it has the lowest Gini. Okay, I have already explained this. The attribute has no predictive power since the new customers are assigned to new customer ID. Okay, that is why you cannot use customer ID as the test condition. Let us see the next problem here. Take down this table. Consider the training example shown in the table for a binary classification problem. Here it is a binary classification problem. So I want everyone to take down this table. Okay, there are 3 attributes here, A1, A2, A3, and there is 2 class labels. Okay, target class has 2 class labels, which is plus and minus. Plus and minus. So 2 class labels. A1 has binary values, correct? True or false. A2 is also having binary value, which is true or false. Here A3, if you see, these are continuous values. So A3 is a continuous attribute. Okay. A3 is a continuous attribute since it is having continuous values. It is a continuous attribute. Okay, since it is having continuous numerical values. So let us solve each question by question. I have put the question and solution simultaneously in the upcoming slides. So let us solve each question by question. First question they have asked, what is the entropy of this collection of training example with respect to positive class? Okay, first let me write the formula for entropy. So entropy is given by the formula minus summation of I is equal to 0 to I is equal to 0 to C minus 1 P of I given T, P of I given T log to the base 2 P of I given T. Correct? So this is the formula to calculate the entropy. Okay, so now they have asked what is the entropy of this collection with respect to the positive class. So How many records are there over here? Totally there are 9 records, correct? Totally over here there are 9 records. How many records belongs to class label plus? Class label plus it is 4 records belong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? These 4 records belongs to class label plus. So 4 divided by 9. Okay. So P of plus, okay, that is the entropy for positive classes, 4 divided by 9. Entropy for negative classes, how many records belongs to negative class? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of the total 9 records belongs to class minus. Okay, so 5 divided by 9. Okay, hence the entropy for the overall entropy for this table is given by, the entropy for this training example is given by minus, use this formula, minus 4 by 9 log to the base 2 divided by 4 by 9 minus 5 divided by 9 log to the base 2 5 divided by 9, which will give you the answer as 0.9911. Okay, this is the overall entropy of the given data set. Here remember, whenever you are calculating log here, log of 5 by 9 you have to divide it by log 2. Okay, this you have to calculate as log of 5 divided by 9. You have to divide it by log 2. Okay, because it is to the base 2. Over here remember, first solve 5 divided by 9. That answer you calculate the log of this answer 5 divided by 9, and finally that answer you have to divide by log 2. Okay, so this is the overall entropy of the training example. Next, see here, what are the information gains of A1 and A2 relative to these training examples? Okay, so they have asked to find out the information gain for A1 and A2. Now you know that whenever you are using the entropy as a measure, impurity measure, the gain that is obtained by using entropy as an impurity measure is called as information gain. So if they are asked to calculate the information gain, you have to remember that you have to use entropy for calculating the impurity. Okay, now for node A1 you have to count the number of records that belongs to plus and number of records that belongs to minus. Now for node attribute A1 you have 2 values. You have true T and F, correct? The 2 values for attribute A1 are T and F. Okay, you should see how many records of T belongs to class plus and how many records of T belongs to class minus. Okay, same way, how many records of F belongs to class plus and how many records of F belongs to class minus. So here if you see, okay, T, how many records belongs to plus? This T belongs to plus, this also belongs to plus, this T belongs to plus, correct? So 3 T's belongs to plus. Which T belongs to minus? If you see, this T belongs to minus, correct? So for A1, 3 T's belongs to plus and 1 T belongs to minus. So for A1, 3 T belongs to plus and 1 T belongs to minus. Let us see for F now. Okay, for F, this belongs to plus, correct? Only one belongs to plus, correct? How many belongs to minus? How many F? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4F belongs to minus, right? So 1F belongs to plus and 4F belongs to minus. Okay, this is how you have to calculate. Okay, first you have to see for T how many records belongs to plus, how many records belongs to class label minus. Next, for F, you have to see how many records belongs to class label plus and how many records belongs to class label minus. Okay, after that you have to calculate the entropy for positive class. What is the total number of records of positive class? 4. Your total number of records of negative class? 5. So entropy for positive class is given by the formula minus 3 by 4 log to the base 2 3 by 4 minus 3 by 4 log to the base 2. For positive class you have to see. Okay, so see for a positive class only. Okay, you will get minus 3 by 4 log to the base 2 3 by 4 minus 1 by 4 log to the base 2 1 by 4. Okay, here they have given binary split. Okay, it is not multi-way split here. The nodes are binary split, either true or false. Next, entropy for negative class we will see. Okay, next we will calculate the entropy for negative class. Here if you see, this is the negative class, correct? This is the negative class. So minus 1 divided by 5 total records of negative class log to the base 2 1 divided by 5 minus 4 divided by 5 log to the base 2 4 divided by 5. Okay, calculate the answer here. Next we have to calculate the overall entropy for A1. What is the overall entropy for A1? The overall entropy for A1 is given by 4. Okay, number of records that belongs to class plus, okay, 4 is the number of records that belongs to class plus divided by the total number of records 9 into the entropy value that you get over here. Okay, that entropy value what you get here, that you have to put over here. You have to calculate this and find out this entropy value for plus. 5 is the total number of records that belongs to class minus, correct? 5 is the total number of records that belongs to class minus divided by total number of records is 9. Okay, into the value of entropy for class minus. Okay, the value of entropy for class minus. So you will get the overall entropy for A1, which is 0.7616. Okay, that is, we have calculated the entropy for A1. Next we have to calculate the information gain. They have asked to calculate the information gain of A1. First we will see A1, then we will go for A2. So the information gain for A1 is given by the entropy for the parent minus entropy of the child. Now entropy for the parent we have already calculated here. This is the overall entropy of the parent, that is 0.9911. Okay, 0.9911 is the entropy of the parent. Okay, minus entropy of this child node A1 is 0.7616. So 0.2294 is the information gain. This is the information gain. Okay, next we will calculate the information gain for A2 in the same way. So for attribute A2, the corresponding counts and probability. Okay, so for A2 we have a number of records T that belongs to class label plus is 2. Number of records F that belongs to class label plus is also 2. As well as the number of T records that belongs to class minus is 3. The number of F records that belongs to class minus is 2. Now first let us calculate the entropy for the positive class. Okay, entropy for the positive class, that is this, correct? This is the entropy for the positive class. Okay, what is the total number of records that belongs to class plus? It is 4, correct? The total number of records that belongs to, write it in pen only. The total number of records that belongs to class plus is 4, correct? The total number of records that belongs to class minus is 5. So first we will calculate the entropy for plus. Okay, so for entropy for plus is given by, it is 2 divided by 4. Okay, it is wrong here. It should be 2 divided by 4 log to the base 2 divided by 4 log to the base 2 divided by 4 minus again 2 divided by 4, okay, log to the base 2 divided by 4. Okay, it is 2 divided by 4. 2 by 4 log to the base 2 by 4 minus 2 by 4 log to the base 2 by 4. Similarly, we'll calculate the, here it is interchanged. Okay, I'll do this correction.